Written by José Saramago and published in 1995, Blindness is a devastating parable of society stripped of sight, order, and certainty. Stark yet lyrical, it begins with a single man going blind in traffic and soon grows into a vision of humanity itself, its fragility, its desperation for structure, and the abyss that waits when reason falters. It is a story of survival, but also of how thin the line is between solidarity and cruelty, compassion and brutality, light and utter darkness. Once upon a time, in a nameless city, a driver suddenly went blind. Not with darkness, but with a milky whiteness, a sea of milk that swallowed his vision. Soon others were struck, the doctor who examined him, the patients in the waiting room, strangers on the street. Panic spread. Authorities responded with fear. The blind were rounded up, locked away in an abandoned asylum, cut off from the world. At first there was hope, rules, rationing, the belief that order could hold. But Saramago reminds us, order is fragile. Hunger grew. Sanitation failed. With no one to see, shame dissolved. The wards filled with filth, with despair, and with violence. A group of men seized the food, trading it for obedience, for humiliation, for women's bodies. What began as survival became domination. What began as necessity became cruelty. Blindness was not only in the eyes, it was in the heart. And yet there was also resistance. A single woman, the doctor's wife, retained her sight, though she told no one. She became witness and guide, carrying the unbearable burden of seeing what others could not. Through her eyes, we see both the collapse of decency and the fragile threads of kindness that endure, sharing food, comforting the weak, clinging to love in the ruins. When the asylum finally broke down, the blind spilled into the city, only to find it too had fallen. No lights, no leaders, no order. Streets became latrines, houses were plundered, and dogs fed on human flesh. Civilization, stripped bare, had dissolved in days. And yet, amidst ruin, there were moments of tenderness, of survival, of hands grasping hands in the dark. Then, as suddenly as it began, sight returned. One by one, the afflicted saw again. But the novel does not end with triumph. The question lingers, what had been revealed? That blindness is not just a sickness, not just an accident, but a mirror. That even with eyes we often refuse to see, the suffering of others, the cruelty we are capable of, the thin line holding society together. And so blindness endures as one of the most unsettling allegories ever written. It is not merely a story of an epidemic, it is a warning, a mirror held up to our own world, showing how quickly fear and power can strip away our humanity. The city is not some distant place, it is every city, every society, every one of us, forced to confront truths we would rather turn away from. Think blindness is just a tale of a strange illness? Think again. Within its pages you will hear the shuffle of feet in the asylum, the cries of the starving, the silence of abandoned streets, and you will see, uncomfortably, what it means to be human when the lights go out. If you enjoyed our journey through Blindness, subscribe and stay with us. We'll keep exploring timeless stories, one novel at a time.